Hi all, it's Stephanie here again. My pronouns are she, her. If this is your first time here, welcome in. This is where I share my crafty endeavors. I totally missed all of February. I meant to record at least twice, and time got away from me, and it just did not happen. So, trying to get this done today. It is February 6th, maybe? Yeah, February 6th, 2024. It's dark. It's a little after 6 o'clock. Dogs have been fed, so hopefully they'll be quiet. If they start getting a little too fussy, I might have to pause and go take care of them. They have gone out to the bathroom, so hopefully they'll be able to settle in for a little bit while I get this done, and hopefully my husband doesn't come home from work, which will definitely set them off. So February was a pretty decent month. I started a few new projects. I actually wrote down a list today so I don't forget what I'm doing, but it might be a little bit scattered. So I guess we'll get right into it. So the first thing I worked on was fairy ring around the Rosy ink circles pattern. And this is for the second most magnificent round robin run by Jewelicious. And we got this done finally. So this was, it's on a 32 count mystery fabric. It is pinker than is showing on my camera. I'm not sure how it looks for you. And then the floss is Night Stalker's Calling. Life is not a fairy tale. So, sorry for the glare. I am having to use the overhead light. So there's a lot of glare. We're trying out a new webcam. So, which still is kind of with getting colors correct. Now, the thing about this is the fabric I had picked out for a while, the floss was a problem. I kept changing my mind about which floss to use. I finally just stitched it all up with this one. But I did start with this, which I also very much like. Believe it or not, there's 3 different colors of floss in there. So, we're gonna do this. This part here is one floss. These mushrooms, these mushrooms are darker floss, and these 2 fairies are a third floss. And then I kind of like that one. Am I going to have time to finish that one before I send it to the next person? No. But I am going to send all the options so they can choose which one they want to work on. So that later one, there's a Forbidden Firebird and Foxglove, which is the light variegated pink purple. The camera doesn't like to focus on anything today. And this is the darker. These are Dinky Dyes. In Major Mitchell and Mulberry. The colors are all very close. I have no idea. Pick that up later. I really have no idea what it was. Something fell off my desk lamps. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. It's going into the abyss of the floor. So that was technically, I guess, a start and a finish. We'll start, rip out, restart, leave alone, which is a different part of the fabric, and then finally finish. So, that's my round robin. My second round robin, I have not even started yet. And it's due to be sent out at the end of this month. So I have some work to do. But the next thing I worked on is I worked on We Go On, which was part of Dee and Kari's Spring Fling Bots 2023. Lives in this lovely little project bag. I'm more of a dog person, but I do appreciate cats. So as we go on, started this on called for fabric, which I'm not sure what it is. Look at the back. Jean Tootin by Brennan Needle, and I believe it says 16. I know I have the information somewhere, but it's not right in front of me at the moment. I have a little piece of paper floating around the project bag. And this is where I'm at on that. So that's the other pattern that was in the Spring Fling box, which is We Still Go On, and the bigger one is We Go On. And I'm using the floss that came in the box. This is the Foiled Rotten. Stranger Things was the other floss that I used for the smaller one. So it is a paper pattern. I kind of got it into Pattern Keeper, but I can't mark anything because it didn't go in perfectly. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, but it's coming out fantastic. And the needle minder was also part of the box. So that should be finished hopefully before the Spring Fling 2024 comes out, which it hasn't yet. So trying to beat it. I'm not sure if that will happen or not. We shall see. All right. Next thing, the pattern by Miriam of Marroomy Crafts called Deefiant. Of course, I'm not going to find the chart. Hold, please. I don't know why I forget every time that it's in this part of it. So this is unfortunately a black and white printout of it. And I have it in PDF form. Trust me, it's beautiful. All I've gotten done so far is some border. And this fabric is slave pages. Probably says it right there. Oh, I took the tag off. Look at that. Enjoy the fabric for a moment. It is 14 count Yalda. And it is opalescent. So this is going to look absolutely beautiful on this. As you can see, all I've got done so far is some of the border. Some gorgeous border. Nice to stitch on some 14 count after working at 32. Gives my eyes a little bit of a break. So my eyes are always grateful for that. So that's Deefiant by Marroomy Craft. Other stuff can be found on, let's see. Here's some gorgeous designs. And of course, I have a bunch of flosses pulled because I'm not sure. I just pulled a bunch of flosses, goodness, from stash. Looking forward to working on that someone. Stitch North is quickly approaching, so we'll see what ends up going with me for that. All right. Next, we have another Marroomy design. This one's a stitch along called From Yalda to Nowruz, which is winter solstice to spring solstice, I believe. Check out her Etsy shop. She explains all of it there. It's fantastic. Wait, we're up to section 9. I am not. I'm still working on the order. This is what it looks like up to section 7. So again, another fantastic border. This border is a little bit similar as far as the that words as far as the design of it a little bit. That's why I had to look twice to make sure I grabbed the right one for Deefiant. I'm trying not to bump the table too much this time, make the camera shake. This is where we are on that. So as you see, more border. This is also HSC fabric. It is 32 count. It does not have a name, but it is gorgeous nonetheless. The little, never mind, needle minder over there hanging out. Let's see if I can. Hey, the flosses are here. Look at me. It's color 51 on that fabric before she started naming them. Excuse me. So far, we have pulled 2 limited edition flosses from Forbidden Fiber Co. Not sure if I'll add more color as I actually get into the bands. Stay tuned to see how that progresses. So those are both new starts. And then I went real wild and did another new start. So in the past, I've taken part in Dark 13, which is you work on spooky stitching. My last Dark 13 project I finished last year, I think in August. And September 13th is my mom's birthday. She passed away over 20 years ago. Anyway, so I wanted to start something special on her birthday in September. I never did. I finally just darted it into Kari. So many of you may recognize this pattern. It's a very popular pattern. It is Halloween Quaker. Sorry for the glare. In Lila Studio. And this is on fabric that I won from Michelle Bendy Stitchy, one of her floss tubes. This is Fox and Rabbit, the Leaf Swamp thing. There is actually some stitching. There it is. It's the back side of it. But it's a gorgeous green. It's so not going to show up in this camera. I apologize. But that's as far as I've got. One little motif there. I started on the center of the left side, looking at the patterns to the left side. That's as far as I've gotten on that. This looks like a 28 count. I have the stickers somewhere. And then there's a whole mess of very unorganized floss in here. Just a pile of a bunch of dark grays, and greens, and oranges. Kind of picking as I go what to do each motif in. And trying to record it. But no promises there. But it will look fabulous once it's done. It's gorgeous fox and rabbit brick. That is Halloween Quaker. And yes, I'm taking the time to print it from the back. What is that? Not the ring. Flush ring. Didn't make it in last time. All right. That's the bag that lives in. Isn't it gorgeous? Little Boat 88. I love their bags. Nice spoofy Halloween bag for Halloween Quaker. All right. Next we have Temperature Dragon. It usually sits behind me, which is why I was looking back there. So I'm caught up to about February 25th or 6th. Up until that date, I actually had none of February completed. But this is the mock-up for the dragon. So January is the middle part, and then you go to the left side of his face, this way. And then around the dragon. And you end up back as well. This is on another mystery fabric. Freebie table. Looks like 28 count. That's where I'm at. So it's only charged the highs or the average temp, one temp, whichever one. I'm being a little extra and doing highs and lows. So for January, it was pretty easy because I could just do the high around the outside and then put the low in the middle. For February, it was a little bit more tricky because there's a lot of these long lines. So I kind of had to improv a bit. So it's coming out very nice. I like the way it's coming out. Will I understand where the dates are when it's done? It doesn't really matter. It's supposed to give you a general feel of the temperatures, not exact dates and what the temperatures were. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out because we've had some warm days at the end of February and beginning of March. So looking forward to catching this back up again. And this is all done in a rainbow of bee-stitch silks. You can see those are the warms we haven't gotten to yet, and the golds are a mess. They just live over here on my lamp. But what is temperature dragon? Alrighty, I'm doing. Last but certainly not least, I am taking part in. I jumped on the Stitch for Pride sale hosted by Dee. Dee's 20 Stitches. And Dee educates us every year on all things having to do with the LGBTQIA2S plus community. I think I actually got that right. I usually have to write it down to get it correct because I miss a letter. I put them in the wrong order. I think I got them all. If I didn't, I apologize. But he educates us on all things for that community. And this year, he was so gracious as to create a circle. You had to get in on it in December, so I definitely got in on it. And then, of course, in true D fashion, he supported the community further by enlisting a fabric dyer as part of the who's part of the community, who say pages, and a floss dyer who's not usually a floss dyer. They usually dye yarn. They specifically jumped in and said okay when Dee reached out to them about dyeing floss. Jasmine of the knitting nurse. It was a very limited run. I did not get in on the floss. I did get in on the fabric because I had to choose which one to grab first, and I chose wrong. Okay, I didn't choose wrong, but not a normal fabric you would see from Jessie. It's called Determination. And this is 28 count Lagana. Very, very nice neutral. So the blue here was January. Keith Haring. February. And now something. Kende Wiley. Kende Wiley. And then March was Stephanie G, who works with clay and creates various foods from different cultures. And learning about it was amazing because first I looked at the pattern and I was like, what? And then I read the information and looked at the stuff that Dee had given us and I was like, wow. It definitely made an impression and I was much more into the pattern and still learning the significance behind it. So as I said, I did not get in on Jazz's flosses. As I pull flosses for each month, I've been throwing them on a ring. So January was Night Stalker's Calling, Jewelbug Nebula. Don't mind the fabric wrangling over here. That was January. February was another Night Stalker's Calling called Water Lily. So there's that green variegated to blue. And for March, it is a Threadworks 11011. They don't put their names on their tags, so I have no idea what it's called. It's in my Notion. If you really want to know, I can tell you. Yeah. There we go. Struggle is real. That is Stitch for Pride Saddle, all caught up. But so far has been a lot of interesting information. It's been great learning about various artists and seeing their artwork. The artwork is amazing. I'm not usually a big fan of art. I don't understand it, especially if there's no explanation. I have to figure it out myself. I'm not good at that. So I really appreciate all the effort and hard work Dee is putting into this. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Dee. So I believe that is all the cross stitch projects I worked on in February. So we have 7 things. So I'm not so monogamous anymore, I guess. So there you go. So we also started a blanket because another thing that happened in February is my daughter had a baby 4 weeks early than planned. So on Valentine's Day, she decided to make her entrance into the world. So now I am hurriedly making a blanket because I'm going out to visit at the end of this month. So this is where I am on that. So luckily, baby blanket, small-ish. Didn't lose my thingy. Yes, that was my hook. Crochet. So the variegated yarn was Karen Jumbo in the colorway Bouquet. So that's pink, purple, and orange. And the black is just big twist black. Nothing special there. But yeah. So it's working up pretty quick. That's the front. Or that's the front, whichever way you want to be the front. Whichever one you prefer. I'm not a big fan of all the texture. I think it looks cool, but not my favorite. Do not have a stitch marker protecting this, so get me out. Don't mess up the yarn. There we go. All right. That's everything I've worked on for the last month since I said hello to everybody. So now let's get into some happy mail. So the first thing I showed you was my round robin for this year, which is the second most magnificent. And my first most magnificent made it back to me this year. Well, actually now last month because it's March. And I chose Pentatonic. This is a roll your own pattern. We give you some suggestions back here and some color palettes to choose from. I believe I chose the big one closely. I didn't exactly stick to it. I did change up some colors a little bit. Colors I preferred. And it looks really good. Everybody did a phenomenal job. This is on 28 count. Yeah, this is on a 28 count. 17 where I wrote it in. But I shipped it out. Everybody left me fantastic notes. That's my writing. That's my. There's other notes in here. So, Pentatonic is the pattern. It's on light ash, 28 count Lugana from Fat Quarter Shop. You ready? It's magnificent. Look at that. Look at it. Look how amazing that came out. Like, wow. Thank you so much to the Green Squadron. You did a phenomenal job. You chose a pattern that was on the bigger side than most, and you just crushed it. You crushed it. I am very, very grateful and honored to have been part of this, and I'm looking forward to this year's. And my patterns this year are not as big, so, so my teams are probably very grateful for that. Yeah, I got in on this in the last minute, So extra grateful. Thank you, Michelle, who ran the round robin last year, kind of, sort of. She got us started, and then we kind of just ran with it. So, it was a lot of fun. Mhm. Now I get to finally put all the stuff away that's been hanging out for the past couple of weeks, waiting for me to film. All right. Other stuff. I have been starting to de-stash fabric, and ironically, I got more fabric. So to be stitching, we have these little grab bags going on. So I got myself a linen grab bag, various counts. I haven't even opened this yet. With this top one, this is a very bright green. It's not coming off that way, but it is a very bright green. It's a very bright orange in here. It's a darker colors. I'm definitely going to get into and use. But I don't have a lot of like smaller fabric, so this is perfect. So I don't like having it cut fabric. So that's that. And then when I first signed up for the round robin, I had a different pattern picked out initially. And I'm in team 32 count, which is why it's on 32 count. Very bright pink. And I had a little panic attack thinking it was 36 for a little bit, but it is 32. So I had ordered some fabric to go with my original pattern, and then it took months for it to show up. I ordered the Stitch Me. It's a smog. These little kill balloons. I'm gonna take these out for dog hair in my house. Gotta protect it. Imagine smog. It's got little hints of green in there. It's mostly gray, some purple with, and then it also got one called Shadow. Again with the purplish. But this is more purple. Use a purple in it. So I got those. It took forever, so they're not going anywhere. And then Mr. Zach, Z-Man Crafts, has been pestering me very nicely to put up a throne wish list. So I finally did, said nothing, found it within hours. And I had mentioned that I wanted to do a certain pattern start for my birthday this year and asked feelers out to see if anybody wanted to join in and do it with me, even if they wanted to do it like a round robin style, so we kind of actually get it done. More likely to get it done if your friends are doing it and you're passing it around. It's a little more exciting. And that was Lila Studio. That's joyful. Michelle Bendy showed this pattern. I saw this pattern around the same time she did. She got it right away. I wanted it right away. Zach went and bought it from my throne list. So as soon as Abby over at Top Knot Stitcher Shop restocked, I snagged it, and here it is. It's just gorgeous. I love this. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the color list later, but I will be trying to pull from stash for this as much as possible. Just probably, you probably can do it. You've seen, yeah, I think I'll be okay. So my birthday's in September. If anybody else wants to hop in and snag this and either do it on their own or be a part of the round robin. I think right now we might have 5 people. The more people we get, the less we have to stitch of our own. I'm thinking I'll at least do the outline of the acre and everything in it, but I won't be committed to having to do everything in it right away. So we'll see how it breaks down. What we decide to do. We have a few months until September, which will be here before we know it. And of course, pattern can't travel alone. So I also got this Halloween cat. So there's another pattern I can do when Colleen birthday comes around and we stitch on cat things. So I have another option now. So I'm excited for that. And Satsuma Street, I don't have a lot of their stuff, and their stuff is great. So why not? So I believe that's all the happy mail. All right. Now we move on to stuff you should know about. Right now there is a marathon for MMIWG2S, Murdered Missing Indigenous Women Girls. And Two Spirits is going on. Rachel Ray Craft, go check her out. She is part of a group raising money. Rachel Ray, Michelle Bendy, Bendy Stitchy, Miss Lake Pages is also part of the group. Jazz of the Knitting Nurse is also doing a fundraiser type thing. Some of them have raffles going on over on their free side of Patreon. So if you're not on Patreon, there's a free side. You can go check that out, see if anything they're raffling is piques your interest. New ones go up weekly. Right now, I believe Michelle has raffles going on, and Rachel's may have just ended. Rachel Raycraft. So I will link everybody down below. Definitely go check it out. It's a good cause. They try and do it every year. Last year it just got too crazy and hectic. They couldn't do it, so they decided to do it early this year, and it kind of worked out nicely next time. Go buy some stuff, donate if you don't want to buy some more stuff. Whatever, every little bit helps. So, so I think that's all I have to say. I think that's it. Mm, intentions. Some people say plans, intentions, because they tend to change. It's what I intend to do, but we all know that will change. So what I need to do is get my second round robin done and started so I can get that shipped out. Otherwise, catch up on my temperature cell and then whatever I feel like stitching on. I would like to work on a tiny modernist SAL that ended February. About 3 drops behind, and they are going to be at Stitch North, so it would be great if I could finish it and show them what I do with it, because I changed some of the colors. It's just, it'd be nice to kind of show them, see what they think. Well, I think that's it for me for now. So, if I forget anything, I'll catch up with it next month or whenever I get to filming again. I would like to film more regularly. We'll see if that happens. March is a super busy month, but April is going to be, so there's a lot of prep work for that. So we'll see how it goes. But until next time, keep stitching, keep sharing your projects as well. For those who have floss tubes, I love seeing it all. Those who I follow on Instagram who don't do floss tubes, I still love seeing all your projects and sharing, and it's fantastic. And I'll see you around. Bye.